everybody. This is Joe Saunders, Democratic candidate for Florida House District 49, and we are just a few hours away from primary election day, August 14th. We put together a short video showcasing the incredible team that we've built. We've been campaigning for almost 6 months now. I know that's crazy, it's hard to believe, but we've been out knocking on doors. We've knocked on thousands of doors in Florida House District 49. We've made thousands of phone calls and built up an incredible base of support for my candidacy and for what I think is a really important vision for how we can be changing Florida for the better. We've got Knights from UCF, we're on our intern team, who've been working with us, just so you'll hear from some of them. But I just want to take a quick moment to thank every single person who's been a part of this effort. To the donors, to the volunteers, to the supporters, to the people who've been coming out swinging for us and believe in my vision for how Florida can become a world-class community and a better place for everybody to live. Thank you to each of you for being a part of this. We have we have a long way to go, but I am sure that we're going to be victorious on Tuesday, and I want you to meet some of the incredible people who will have made this victory possible.
For the campaign, I really do anything that either Mitch, Jess, or Joe need me to do. It went from petitioning to canvassing to now phone making, putting up yard signs, making phone calls. Aside from phone making, volunteer recruitment, it's really anything and everything that has to do with the campaign.
Phone making, pretty much just calling people and telling them about Joe. So much canvassing, only over the phone, and getting their information down.
Typically I do data entry, I used to canvas, I do phone banking now.
Mostly data. I go to random events as well. Done some canvassing in the past, phone banking, whatever kind of needs to get done. Oh, on a canvas, you have a list of supporters, well, potential supporters, so you're going door to door asking them for your support for Joe, for their support for Joe. Getting the word out about his candidacy, getting information out about him, letting voters know why we think Joe's a good candidate for the office.
Well, typically I'm the Hispanic Outreach Coordinating intern, so I'm at the Hispanic events, I'm researching them, I'm translating the press releases, anything that needs to go out and are lit in Spanish, that's what I'm doing. I'm behind the computer, typing stuff up. We canvas every once in a while, and I love the phone bank, but I love communicating with the Hispanic community and just getting Joe out there.
For the Joe Saunders campaign to elect him for District 49, I usually canvass and attend the intern meetings, which we discuss ways to really improve our chances of Joe winning the District 49 House.
Something interesting that happens on a campaign. A lot of times, whenever I go canvassing, you run into some really nice voters, especially if they tell you, "Wow, I really appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for coming to talk to me." It really makes canvassing worth it, makes phone calling worth it, especially if you're out there canvassing, it's like really hot outside and someone opens the door and they're a big supporter, they love everything that you're doing, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, have a granola bar and some vitamin water." That's probably the most interesting thing that's happened to me.
Because I really believe in the ideas that Joe has for Tallahassee. I mean, he's a student and he's a very strong voice in the LGBT community, as well as he's young, so he definitely understands where we're coming from, especially where I'm coming from. So I really think he'll be a powerful voice in Tallahassee, which is definitely what Democrats and students need.
So a really definitive moment in the campaign for me that was really meaningful to me was one of the first times that I attended a fundraiser for our campaign, and I got to see Joe, get up and speak to the group, to the crowd, and it reminded me, gave me a lot of these old memories of working with him in the past, and it reminded me of why I worked for the campaign and why I worked for him, because he's just so eloquent, and he was describing his history and the things that he did so far with Equality Florida and at UCF, and a lot of that stuff was also stuff that I helped out with, and so looking back at that experience, there was no regret in working with him in the past, and so there's definitely all the comfort in the world and all the certainty of how well that we're going to do.
So the funny thing is, I started with the campaign like a little bit after it started, and I knew Joe like personally from like prior experiences, but I had no idea the amount of people that he's affected and actually worked with. Like, he's brought like all of these UCF nights and everyone to bring him into like this weird like Nights for Joe conglomerate, and he's just, I didn't know the magnitude of what he was gonna do and all of those people who believed in him. I had no idea. All I did was just make a couple videos here and there and take pictures at events, but I didn't know what I was getting into.
So we've got this great team of volunteers, interns, and staff. There's about 20 and 25 of them that are here on a regular basis. They go out and canvas for us, they make phone calls, they do miscellaneous jobs when they come up. And I've honestly never worked on a campaign that has had this sort of camaraderie in it. We've got a lot of really dedicated people working through this campaign, people who really care about Joe and his candidacy and want to see him in Tallahassee advocating for them.
Exciting moment for the campaign was today, where I had a 30-minute conversation with a couple about civil rights and ways Orlando and Florida can be improved.
I have to say, the Hispanic Expo over at the Orange County Convention Center, I really enjoyed that. That was the first time that I was actually able to communicate with voters, and we were at a table for the Florida Democratic Party, but we were also walking around the expo and just getting to know businesses, the Spanish media as well, and I love that I was able to get the word out for Joe and communicate personally with people and then introduce them to Joe, translating, and that was the real moment in the campaign that I was like, I'm doing this, I'm working, and we're working a deal like this.
I am a knight for Joe because I know Joe knows what Central Florida wants, and he'll take all of our ideas to Tallahassee with him. He's also a fresh face, and he's young and has fresh ideas.
I support Joe Saunders because I've known Joe for about 9 years now, and I know that he is the type of Democrat that we need in Tallahassee to speak out for democratic values, speak out for the middle class, speak out for women, students, and the LGBT community. I know through my work with him at Equality Florida that he's an effective leader and somebody that we can count on to really speak for us in Tallahassee.
Well, I'm part of the campaign because I like Joe. I feel like I would have done the same had it been for anyone I like, but the fact that I've had a lot of interaction with Joe, like with the candidate, I think he's really personal. I think he's funny as hell, and I think he's a true progressive. I know that phrase has been thrown around a lot, but I mean I don't think people would say it if it weren't true. I like everything he stands for. Like, I like the work that he's done in the past, and I hope to continue the work and his legacy, I guess. I mean, it's only been 7 years since he's been with Equality Florida, but at the same time, I would think that there's a bit of a legacy that he's built, and I would hope to continue that. So that's why.
He's taken the time to not only get to know me and understand what I care about, but I know he's also done the same for many other people. So having someone that can really go to bat and support, the progressive issues, a progressive cause for Central Florida, I think something that I'm really excited about, and I believe in him, so that's why I support him.
Well, a very big reason why I'm part of it is because I believe in Joe Saunders. Since day one that I've met him, I see how passionate he is with the issues. He represents our community, being from an LGBT family. I believe that he is the one who can make change, especially in Tallahassee for us. So with that being said, he has 110% of my vote and confidence, as well as other members in the LGBT community and Hispanic community, because he's well-rounded. He represents all issues, from education, which is a vital factor amongst all communities, as well as healthcare, and just the economy itself, because we know a lot of us are struggling. So I believe that he's the only one who could actually go out there and make a great change. So I'm excited, and I can't wait to make history with Joe Saunders.
I'm here because I know Joe, because he came and he would volunteer at our school, and he was just always so happy, and he always cared for every one of us. And Joe actually helped me get a scholarship because I'm going into the arts, and my family's we have a really hard time with money, and Joe just, he's so supportive, and I really appreciate everything that Joe's ever done for me.